I care a lot about you guys, which is why I started uploading hand cams again. But I look at comments like these and have to assert my dominance. But after I start wondering to myself, is this guy really right? Is my content boring, repetitive, and unentertaining? Is it my fault that my views are dropping once again? How can I stop boring some of you guys with hand cams when it's obvious that most of you watch me only for my hand cams? By making more hand cams. So I decided to order 3 brand new top rated controllers that I've never used before, and some AirPods because I wanted some new AirPods, and try all 3 in the same video so that it's physically impossible to call this boring, repetitive, and unentertaining. Yes, this video was made out of spite, so I'm gonna be looking for you in the comment section. So the next day I finally got my controllers and my AirPods because I wanted some new AirPods, and I started to try them to find out which controller would be my favorite out of the 3, or maybe even better. I could find a controller better than the Astro C40, which is the one I always play with despite it always breaking on me. First, I decided to try out the Thrustmaster, and I was hoping it was better than it sounded because that name is just something else. The controller worked out of the box with the PC, but you need the software, which looks a little outdated but simple enough to use to change the binds. So I went to download the software and I was already getting bad vibes from I'm gonna just let you see for yourself. The Thrustmaster comes. Wait. What did you say? Yo, what the? I can't. I know. I can't. The Thrustmaster comes with a few attachments out of the box, and I was surprised when I saw that you could change it from Xbox to PlayStation layout, which is cool, but useless for me because PlayStation feels really awkward in my opinion on this controller because of the size or something.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
It also had trigger stops and buttons on the back instead of paddles. The buttons are fine and not in a super bad position, but the problem I had with this controller was how sticky all of the buttons felt. I really felt like I struggled to hit the face buttons and the paddles on the back of the controller, and my first impression building with the controller was not a good one at all. So I tried out an edit course just to test my edits without having to build and edit at the same time, and it just felt impossible for me to hit consistent edits with this controller. Not that it's a bad controller, it's yeah, actually never mind, it's a bad controller. And just to give it one more test, I went into an arena game to get a win, but it really didn't matter because I died off spawn. Next, I tried the Nikon Revolution Pro controller. The unboxing experience was at least way better than the Thrustmaster. I'm never gonna get over that. It's a pretty small controller compared to the last one, and it comes with weights. I don't know why you would willingly make your controller heavier, but it's all preference. It also came with these like little analog turtlenecks. That's the best way I could describe it, to control how much rotation you have with either stick. I just used the one that it came with because personally I don't care about all of that right now. The Nikon also works out of box with the PC, but you need the software for the correct binds, and it literally took me almost 30 minutes to find out how to set up my binds on the software. Like the Thrustmaster software looked like I was stuck in the early 2000s, but I'd rather have that than this. The Nikon software was super bad and just confusing to use. I'm so grateful this app wasn't on a marketplace so I wouldn't have to read the reviews. That's how bad it was. There is a PC switch on my controller, but on the software it wouldn't pick up the controller unless it was toggled to the second number on the controller, not the PC option. On PC It was annoying, and every time I thought I had the binds right, it would apply to that second number thingy, not the PC thingy. So when I hopped on Fortnite, the controller only worked when it was toggled to the PC mode thingy, which had no changes made because I can't even open the app unless you get it. It was just a circle. But finally I figured something out and I got to test the controller. By the way, there's no trigger stops or raised analog sticks, so you're just rocking with a basic Xbox layout controller with little buttons on the back. And I mean, for a controller with no raised right stick or trigger stops, it played decent. It just makes the game a lot harder. I still struggle to free build.
Oh!
And then I went into an edit course and I did some cool edits without messing up. But like, it just didn't feel like a pro controller because of the lack of every attachment. And it's not a final test unless I go into arena and go for the win, but you know, I still died off spawn. And the last controller that I had to try was the Razer Wolverine Tournament Edition. And right out of the box, something felt different. The controller looked like a normal controller. It had 2 trigger stops and 2 beautiful paddles that felt amazing. Also, 2 extra buttons towards the opposite side between bumpers. It still had a low rated customizable app in the store, but it didn't look weird and it was really easy to use. I didn't even change the binds because the default binds were perfect. All I really did in the app was take off vibration and then mess with the RGB a little bit. There's no raise stick option, which makes it harder to edit, but I could deal with that. Everything was going perfect and the controller really felt great in my hands. So I loaded into my creative and the input delay destroyed me. I could do a little building without messing up here and there, but the controller is just not responsive enough. Like, this is the first time I've literally felt delay in a controller and it really pissed me off because I thought this was the one. I restarted my game just to check and nothing. I still went to an edit course and it was just painful to try to do that to myself. It really is a great controller. I just needed to be more responsive. I still took it to arena and I was not gonna go out with another 30-second game. I want to put my all into this game for you guys to show you it's really the most comfortable controller out of the 3 I played with today. So I sat up, wiped the sweat off my hands and paused my distractions, landed tilted, got 2 quick kills, and then I died off spawn again. Thank you guys for watching.
Be the type to provide it to me and let her get it. You ain't gotta get dressed or do that.